This video is sponsored by Christopher Green. He actually edited this video, so make sure you check out the description down below for details on how he can edit your video or audio. Hello everybody, my name is Christopher164, and I'm here to react to Radiant by Erica Bostick. It comes from her new album, Fire of a Warrior, her debut album in fact, and I am excited to give this a listen. She is an independent pop artist. Definitely want to give those who are independent support, right? So let me go ahead and take a listen to this, and let's see what I think, eh?
All it took was one look at you, and I was through. Nothing can stand next to you. Nothing can stand next to you. The thought of anything else is completely ruined. Nothing can stand in your light. Nothing can stand in your light, and nothing ever will. I can't keep my mind off of you. Can't keep my mind off of you. Oh, I can't keep my mind off of you. Can't keep my mind off of you. You are radiant, something so radiant, and I haven't seen nothing yet. You are in lace. I'll never need anyone else. I'll never need anyone else. No. Every beauty, every other love pales in comparison. No other captures my heart. No other captures my heart quite like you do. I can't keep my mind off of you. Can't keep my mind off of you. Oh, I can't keep my mind off of you. Can't keep my mind off of you. You are radiant, something so radiant. You are radiant, something so radiant. Got me spoiled with the real thing. Don't want nothing but the real thing. Got me spoiled with the real thing. I don't want nothing but the real thing. Got me spoiled with the real thing. Don't want nothing but the real thing. Got me spoiled with the real thing. Yeah, I don't want nothing but the ooh, yeah. I can't keep my mind off of you. Can't keep my mind off of you. Oh, I can't keep my mind off of you. Can't keep my mind off of you. You are radiant, something so radiant. You are radiant, something so radiant. The thought of anything else is completely ruined. Yeah.
That was definitely very different from what I would expect from a pop song. I mean, not that pop doesn't delve into R&B, but was also kind of experimental with the sound with that kind of crackling type noise thing. I don't know exactly what that was. It kind of took me by surprise, but it kind of worked. I did feel like it did sound a little harsh, but you know, it could have sounded worse, and so it was definitely very interesting. You know, this is, I feel like, sonically a good example of a song that's trying to be more than just pop music. It introduces new sounds that are not normal in pop music, but still giving that R&B and pop feel to a song. Well done. Erica's voice is fresh. I feel like there are many voices in pop music that, are just very similar. There are always some distinct voices here and there, but I feel like her voice stands out of the crowd. I feel like there's something distinct about it that it doesn't really compare to other pop artists. I feel like not that anyone can really change their voice, but if there's a pop artist with a fresh voice, I personally get pretty excited because I feel like that's one thing that the pop industry needs: different sounding voices. I mean, yeah, you could probably compare the voice to some other voices. Honestly, I feel like, I don't know who, but there's at least one or two people in my brain that the voice reminds me of, but it's not like your typical voice that you hear on the radio these days, if you do know what I mean. Lyrically, this is pretty worshipy, and that's awesome. I feel like this is the discussion for another time, but I feel like there should be some divide of pop music and worship music, but there can be pop songs that are written towards a worship bent. That's a discussion that I'm still trying to understand myself. It's just some thoughts that I've been kind of having for a bit of a while. I find it interesting, just the idea, the chorus. I can't keep my mind off of you. So that refers to something mental. You're thinking about, in this case, God. And then you are radiant. That is something visual. And so basically the chorus is like thinking upon something that's visual. I find that very interesting, if you know. I know that radiant doesn't always refer to something being visual. I feel like you read the Bible and just so many things about him, and he radiates even though you might not seen him. I just thought that was very interesting, that connection of I'm thinking of God because he is radiant. I just found that very interesting, kind of like a bit of a twist lyrically that some people might not expect. I guess that like lasting impression of who God is, and that's definitely what the song is getting to. Just one look at God who's radiant, and nothing can stand in your light. Just these comparisons of who God is and his light and how he's radiant, and so how that affects you and that you can't stop thinking about him. It's just interesting. I mean, that's not necessarily like a new concept. Honestly, that's one thing about worship-based music, is that you're kind of stuck with the same themes. Especially worship music these days is a lot of it, and that's no problem, but definitely written about Jesus and maybe his crucifixion, maybe his resurrection. So, like, not a new concept, but if you get a nice song that's nice and fresh, it's always super cool. I did find the line, got me spoiled with the real thing, kind of interesting. I don't know, that's not necessarily how I would think of writing it. Don't want nothing but the real thing. But as soon as you encounter what's real, who wants fake? That's what it oftentimes is like. Sometimes when you have like this gourmet, let's say ice cream, and then you come back and get just normal ice cream, you're just always like, well, remember that time when I had the gourmet awesome ice cream or whatever. That lasting impression. So yeah, I kind of like the song. I don't love it. Of course, I think it's super cool how it's experimental in sound, how Erica has a different voice compared to others on the radio. Lyrically, it's fine, but it's definitely, I feel like it's also kind of a reminder for me. I feel like I'm in a place where sometimes I forget how special God is. A song like this, simple as it is just kind of a reminder that God is incredible, that nothing should compare to him. I feel like there's so many things that gets in the way of life, whether it be school or a relationship or family or just so many other things that you could probably think about, and they can get in the way of the one who we are supposed to pursue, God. So this is definitely a reminder that everything else should pale in comparison to God. Anyways, those are my thoughts on this song. I hope you like the song. Curious of your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and God bless.